Ever wonder what really happens behind the scenes at the Vatican when they need to choose a new pope?
It's one of those things, right? Shrouded in mystery, steeped in tradition.
Well, get ready to peek behind the curtain, because today we're diving into Conclave,
Oh,
a
cool.
2024 film that throws a thriller twist into this whole secretive process.
I like it already. So are we talking real history here or more like fictionalized?
It's interesting the film uses a fictional story to explore a real historical event, papal conclaves.
Okay, so using drama to dig into something real. I'm into it. What sources are we working with for this deep dive?
Mostly IMDb gives us a solid overview of the plot, some cast info,
Always good to know who's who.
and even a user review, just to add another dimension to our conversation.
Love it when we get that outside perspective. All right, lay it on me. What's this conclave all about?
Well, I've always been kind of fascinated by papal conclaves.
Yeah, how could you not be?
The idea of 118 cardinals.
Yeah, that's a lot of cardinals.
Right. Each representing different factions, different viewpoints, all locked away until white smoke emerges, and they've chosen the next spiritual leader for over 1 billion Catholics.
Talk about pressure.
No kidding. It's like a pressure cooker of faith and politics.
100%. And speaking of pressure, this film puts Cardinal Lawrence, played by Ralph Fiennes, right at the heart of it all.
Oh, Ralph Fiennes. He always brings a certain gravitas to his roles. So he's one of the cardinals.
Not just any cardinal. He's the one tasked with leading this conclave.
Which is interesting because, and this is from IMDb, Cardinal Lawrence stumbles upon a trail of secrets left by the previous pope. Secrets so explosive they could shake the very foundation of the Catholic Church.
Whoa, okay, so we're not talking about some misplaced hat collection here. That detail right there tells you everything about the stakes we're dealing with.
Exactly. It's not just about electing a new leader. It's about potentially confronting something that could shatter the church as we know it.
And to add to that already tense situation, you've got Cardinal Lawrence grappling with this burden within this, well, let's be honest, ancient and incredibly traditional process.
Right. The conclave itself, with all its rituals and secrecy, adds another whole layer of complexity to Cardinal Lawrence's challenge.
It's like, how do you even begin to process something like that when you're surrounded by centuries of, well, everything the church represents?
It's pretty wild when you think about it. I mean, this film is based on a book by Robert Harris.
Oh, he's known for his historical fiction.
Exactly. So, this isn't just some random thriller. It's trying to capture that weight of history and tradition that surrounds this whole event.
It makes you think about all those past conclaves that have happened within those same Vatican walls.
Right. What were the power struggles like? What kind of compromises were made?
And here's the thing. Even today, with all our modern communication or technology, the core of the conclave remains remarkably similar to what it was centuries ago.
You're kidding.
Nope. Those cardinals are still basically cut off from the outside world, sworn to secrecy, their only communication being that puff of white smoke from the Sistine Chapel chimney.
It's like stepping back in time, but with incredibly high stakes.
Right. And speaking of high stakes, there's this user on IMDb, TrWVTCF, who described the film as being about the mystery of power.
Ooh, I like that.
Right. And I think
Yeah.
that's especially relevant in this context.
Absolutely, because when you think about power within the church, it's not about armies or political borders
It's about influence, faith.
and the ability to shape the direction of a global institution.
Exactly.
It really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To think about how those decisions made within those walls by those cardinals have echo throughout history.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about popes who shaped religious doctrine, influenced global politics, even sparked reformations.
It's mind-boggling.
It really is. And it's kind of amazing when you think about it, how a process designed centuries ago, right? It continues to hold such relevance even today.
Especially today. I mean, think about it. In this world of instant communication, the conclave stands as one of the last vestiges of a truly closed system.
Such a stark contrast to how the rest of the world operates.
Totally. Which makes those secrets Cardinal Lawrence uncovers even more, tantalizing. What could be so explosive, so potentially damaging, that it threatens, well, the foundation of an institution as old as the Catholic Church. It's crazy.
Right. And the IMDb summaries, they don't exactly reveal specifics, but the language they use.
Like what?
Well, they mention deep secrets, a trail that could shake the foundations of the church. I mean, that suggests something way deeper, something fundamental to the church's very identity.
Okay, now you've got me really thinking. What could it be? A hidden truth about church history? A massive financial scandal? Or could it even be something that challenges the very nature of papal authority?
It's definitely not outside the realm of possibility.
Imagine being Cardinal Lawrence in that moment. You're grappling with your faith, your responsibility to over 1 billion Catholics.
And then, boom, this bombshell of a secret drops, and it just throws everything into question.
Talk about a dilemma. It's like classic loyalty to an institution versus your responsibility to the truth.
Exactly. And what makes it even more compelling is that the conclave itself, that setting, it's like a microcosm of this larger conflict.
It's like that pressure cooker we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
right? Just intensifying all those internal struggles, those
That's
doubts.
100%.
How do you even begin to weigh personal conviction against the weight of tradition, against the weight of what 1 billion people expect from you? It's a lot.
It is. And you've got to remember, it's within that pressure cooker, that isolated and secretive process, that Cardinal Lawrence has to figure out his next move.
I can't even imagine.
And what I find really fascinating is that the film, it seems less concerned with, actually revealing the secrets themselves. It feels more interested in exploring the human drama that unfolds around them.
Which makes sense, especially when you consider that our IMDb friend, TreeWTCF, they also mentioned how the film really digs into, well, their words, the interplay of faith and doubt.
Yeah, and I mean, that seems like a natural human response, wouldn't you say? When you're hit with information that challenges, like, your core beliefs.
Of course, doubt is going to creep in.
Right. And within the context of the conclave, where everything is about spiritual guidance, about choosing, God's representative on earth, well, the stakes of that doubt, they become astronomical.
It's like those secrets become this, I don't know, like a crucible testing not just Cardinal Lawrence's faith, but potentially the faith of everyone in that room.
And perhaps even prompting viewers to question their own relationship with faith and institutions.
I see where you're going with this.
Because if an institution as old and as powerful as the Catholic Church can be vulnerable to these kinds of secrets, well, what does that say about the nature of belief itself?
Makes you think, right, about how Conclave uses this very specific event, all these rituals, to explore these big universal themes.
Oh, yeah.
You've got ambition, faith, doubt, the weight of tradition going head to head with this desire for truth.
And let's not forget the setting. I mean, come on, it's like something out of Shakespeare.
Totally.
You've got these cardinals, they're literally locked away inside the Vatican, a place that's already, well, drowning in history and symbolism.
Just adds to the whole thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, every conversation, every little secret whispered in those corridors, it all takes on this extra weight.
It's almost like you can't escape it. Makes you wonder what really goes on during those closed-door sessions. We get those historical accounts, but so much of it is still such a mystery.
Well, and that's part of what makes the conclave so fascinating, right?
Oh, for sure. Ripe for storytelling.
It's this space where power operates differently. Faith and politics, they're all tangled up, can't separate them.
Completely. So thinking about Conclave and all these questions it's raising about faith, about power, about institutions, what's the big takeaway for our listeners? What should they be thinking about after they finish this deep dive? What's the thing that'll stick with them?
Well, for me, it really highlights how important it is to never stop asking questions.
Oh, I like that.
Even when those questions make us uncomfortable, even when they challenge our beliefs or the institutions we think we know. That search for truth, whether it's inside ourselves or in the systems we live in, it never really ends.
It's like that saying, what is it? The unexamined life is not worth living. This film, it's like it's pushing us to examine not just the secrets of the church, but our own secrets.
Absolutely.
The beliefs we haven't really thought about, the systems we just accept without question.
It's about confronting those maybe not so comfortable truths, having those tough conversations. Because maybe, just maybe, that's how we build something better, something more honest.
Something more authentic. Well said. So if you're intrigued by, well, all of this history, drama, moral dilemmas, you got to check out Conclave.
Yeah.
But even beyond the entertainment, let it spark a conversation, maybe a little bit of reflection about the power of secrets, what we believe in, and the institutions, well, the institutions that shape everything around us.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been another deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.